What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Team Chat Podcast, a video game show. I'm one of your hosts, Jarrett Wilson, joined to my right by Rachel Mogan.
Buongiorno.
Buongiorno to you as well. How are you this fine evening?
Doing just fine.
Just fine.
I've got all kinds of random gaming stuff to talk about today.
Ooh, that's exciting.
And none of it goes in any consistent direction. It's a real scattershot of gaming.
I kind of feel like that's maybe mine. I'm actually because today we're not really having a big review, first impression, anything like that. It's a good old fashioned Team Chat shoot the shit-isode. So we're just going to be talking about the random stuff that we've been playing. And yeah, I've actually been throwing it back to a bit of an older game lately in my gaming time. So that'll be fun to talk about in a minute. But before we talk about all that, we're going to tell you where you can listen to Team Chat Podcast and hear us talk about the games we love, the games we hate, and everything in between. You can do that on podcast services such as Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and others. You can also watch each and every episode on a video version on YouTube. There's also our social media where you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, TikTok, but our most importantly, Discord, because that is where we hang out and are most popular, or not most popular. I mean, we are, of course, but I mean, we are most active is what I was more going for. So if you want to hang out with us there when we're not here recording the episode, I would encourage you to jump over to our Discord there, where you will also see a cool little lock symbol on one of our channels. It's the Rogues Gallery. And you're maybe asking yourselves, what's that? Well, that's a cool little perk for those who support us over on our Patreon, where you can go to patreon.com/Team Chat Podcast, whereas for as little as $1 a month, you can support the show. And in return, we give you cool perks like getting the episodes early before their general weekly release. And you'll join the ranks of cool folks such as Allison H, Fuchsia, Ark, Brandon W, Bro Mogan, Ace Jokai, Erica L, Michael B, Michael S, Snooty Boots, Susan M, and Zach S. And if you can't support us for a monetary way, that's completely fine and totally fine. But there are a lot of cool ways that you can support the show for free, such as telling your friends, writing us reviews, or listening or subscribing wherever you're listening to, or
comment on the videos,
show, commenting on the videos. All of that stuff helps get the good word of Team Chat Podcast out to the masses. And for that, we are eternally grateful and love each and every single one of our viewers, listeners, and patrons alike. Heart emoji.
Also, if we're not looking in the right place all the time, it's because Jared moved the camera.
I had to move the camera. There's a good reason for that. It's for my health. Because my monitor was too low. And it was also one that, just because of its A size and curvature, that it's needed a special mount that is only available on Amazon to be able to put it onto a normal wall arm mount bracket thing, and it's made by a third-party 3D printed thing, and I was kind of I'm not trusting my monitor to that.
There's no way that's gonna hold up. This thing's got to be heavy.
It's not crazy heavy, but I mean it's got some heft to it.
It's heavy enough, I'll bet. Damn.
But I really wanted to get it up because it was so low that all the time, even with my chair lowered all the way, I'm pretty constantly just looking down. And so it was just really starting to affect my posture, neck, causing issues. So I was I need to get it up. But because of that, I had to move the camera and other stuff. So if we're looking in weird places and whatnot, it's because we're still getting used to it. We launched it for the first time on our stream last week, but now this is the first time for an episode.
Streaming,
you're over
really
here. We're not looking
anyways.
at that, so we don't care. But now it's in a different place, and we have to kind of pay attention to it every once in a while, and it's a little weird. So be patient with us.
Yes, we definitely don't look at where the camera is.
But before we get to our main topic of the day of, a whole bunch of nothing really, let's get a little bit of news and what's coming out soon in our Moment with Mogan.
All right, so out now we've got Goat Simulator 3 on Switch 2.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, that came out a long time ago.
No, on Switch 2. Cursed Words is out for PC right now. Darwin's Paradox. This is actually one of the games that I was kind of hype about when there was some sort of PS5 or Sony showcase kind of recently or something like that. Maybe it was even one of the Xbox ones. I don't remember. But Darwin's Paradox is coming out for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, Switch 2, and PC. It looks like a really fun, silly platforming game starring an adorable little octopus.
Oh,
they had me at octopus
for this, yeah.
But Jarrett, now I've really got a game for you.
Okay.
Do you know which one it is?
Coming out in the next week or so? Already out?
It came out on April 2nd. Canst thou guess? I'll give you a hint. It relates to the church.
Jesus Simulator.
I Am Jesus Christ.
Yes.
It's coming to just PC on April 2nd.
Oh my
If it
God.
didn't require purchasing a game that would definitely benefit Christianity,
Is it though, or is it like a parody game?
No, it's sincere.
Oh no.
You should watch the trailers on Steam
no.
because like
We don't like that.
They are for real. Like you play as Jeebus. you go
Changes.
you go through his life and whatnot. It looks like it was probably funded by Mormons, but I can't prove that.
Interesting.
Anyway, also it could have just been funded by regular Christians.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Interesting.
weird.
Because I swear there was one that I saw that is, and maybe they're actually, I'm going to give this a quick Google real quick because I'm
pretty
not
sure
convinced.
that this one's pretty sincere.
I think this one is, but I think there is an insincere one coming out too.
Well,
and I
while
think
you
it's
look
called
that
Jesus
up,
Simulator.
Well, while you look, Jesus Christ Simulator.
Jesus
How
Christ
about them
Simulator.
apples?
There it
Oh, no. So that one looks hysterical.
This one looks fun.
But I Am Jesus Christ is very sincere.
Oh my goodness.
Anyways, so we also have Motion Wreck for PS5 and Switch, Nippets for PC on April 7th, People of Note for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, Switch 2, and PC on the 7th as well, along with Starfield's PlayStation 5 port.
Oh,
I feel like that's not necessary, but whatever.
wait. Oh, okay. Like the upgrade for it. and all
Yeah,
that stuff.
oh,
okay,
yeah,
okay. I was like, wait, I thought it launched on PS5.
Maybe it already did. TR-49 is out for the Switch, just the regular Switch, not the Switch 2.
Okay.
Chain Staff is for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC on April 8th. Pokemon Champions. This is the game I've heard a little bit about, but I'll be honest, I don't entirely know what exactly it is, but that's coming to the Switch on April 8th as well. So is the House of Hikmah, Hikmah. That Hikmah? I don't know, could be either. Anyways, that's coming to PC on April 8th. The Occultist is coming to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC on the 8th as well. We've got two word-related titles this time. Cursed Words and Beyond Words for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, S, Switch, and PC on the 9th. Do you think they're both really pissed off at the other one for like coming out with a game with
Probably.
such a similar title so
Like,
soon?
get away from my
I would be
release
so
date.
mad. Minus MINOS for PC on April 8th. Puzzling Places for PC on the 9th. Sunken Sky for PC on the 9th as well. Soul Mask for PC on the 10th. Tiny Bookshop. This is a little indie game that I know a lot of people have been quite enamored with. That is coming to PlayStation 5 on April 10th. It has previously already been out. I know for sure for Switch, and I want to also say for PC.
Okay.
But now it's coming to the PlayStation 5. Huzzah. Before I Go is coming to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, Switch, and PC on the 13th. And then that's probably enough to get us through the midpoint of the month.
Cool. Well, before we get also to our shoot the shit, we had some more stuff, a little bit of news because
Some unfortunate
news,
news.
a little bit for the wallets. Whereas Sony announced their 2026 pricing update for the PS5, or I guess their consoles in general.
The PS5
the PS5, the PS5 Pro, and the Portal player
yeah, the Portal
also
as well.
is going up a bit in price.
More than a bit. So the base PlayStation 5 is now going to be $650,
Which I believe it launched for 500.
I think it was $500. So it is now a full $150 more expensive. That's insane.
That is insane.
Now that's for the disc edition. You can get the digital edition for still $600.
So only $50 less.
It's so not worth it. It's so not. Anyways, but then you can also get. But guys, if that wasn't enough money for you to spend, you could instead get the PS5 Pro for the low price of $900. That's
that's a bit.
psychotic.
That's gone up a
That
bit.
is so crazy. I wouldn't pay that much money for a Switch 2, and I'm definitely not going to pay that much money for any of these versions of the PS5.
Well, I mean, I feel yeah, and I mean, hopefully at this point our PS5's knock on wood last and all that stuff. But it is kind of the thing where it's just like that has to be tariff related, or just like
I think-
import costs
I
of
think
getting
it's
materials.
both tariffs, and I think it's the battle for chips right now. Because since
yeah,
the cost of chips has gone so high with AI,
Right.
It's just like a perfect storm. But also, I kind of doubt it's eating into their margins that much. I think they still just
Yeah.
kind of want the infinite profit that every corporation wants. at any cost, literally to the customer.
Yep. Not going to disagree with you
But
there.
I'm sure it's a combination of those factors.
I'm sure
not
it is.
just
It
any
definitely,
one.
yeah, I'm sure. But also, it's just like, what is the PS6 going to launch at? I mean, if
it's not going to to I'm going to be
it's
dead
not.
before that. Because the PS6 isn't coming out until 2017.
Well, and at least they've said too that it's like that it's not going to be anytime soon, I don't think. I mean, I'm sure they're working on it and have the designs in place, but I saw something with an article way back a couple weeks ago saying that it was going to be probably off in the future, or someone associated was saying it was probably going to be pushed longer than expected just because of the growth of AI and everything, and seeing like how it could be, I don't know, incorporated in some way, or like what it does, but it will have some effect, or could have some effect on how the PS6 runs, and like I guess what games can do and stuff like that. So it's kind of, I don't know, some excuse around that about why it's going to take a long time.
All the more reason that me and all the homies have gone back to the Nintendo DS. Truly.
I mean, yeah.
Like every day we stray further from God, and we also stray closer to the Nintendo DS again.
The place where all the good games live. But yeah,
except for maybe Jesus Christ Simulator. You can't get that on the Switch, on the DS.
On the DS, but can't get Jesus into your heart.
Sad. I love that. I love his incredible abs through the image we're looking at is hysterical.
This is wild. It's like him with like a glowing blue cross on his chest,
like emblazoned into his chest. It almost looks like the Iron Man thing, but a cross.
Honestly, I mean, it looks, that in and of itself looks fairly AI.
I mean, it probably uses a lot. Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
You are Jesus Christ.
Oh, do you get to fight Satanists? That's hysterical.
No, it just looks like it's straight up demons.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Well, I just clicked on a picture and it took me to the trailer. Oh my god, he has heat vision and freezing breath. It's basically Superman just with a Jesus skin.
Incredibly
funny.
You
can spend God cash.
So now you can spend God cash. So now go and look up the real one. I am Jesus Christ.
My God,
the vibes are radically different.
This one is gonna be pissing some people off. All right, so what's the other one?
I am Jesus Christ, which honestly I have to say kind of sounds a little sacrilegious. Yeah, see, this one's like historical.
Yeah,
it takes place like in the
first
Nazareth
person.
and whatnot. Yeah, first person Jesus sim.
No.
Do you think that means you watch yourself get birthed? God,
I was wondering that. Is that how it starts? Just like the lights?
God. But yeah, you are Jeebus. I guess you go around blessing, doing your miracles and whatnot.
Yeah, there you are walking on water.
See, this one seems like the kind of thing that a church like funded.
Yeah, this is probably the same people who...
So that they can put this on the PCs in their Bible study classes.
Yeah, this is like the same people who made the fucking Creation Museum in Ohio.
For sure. We actually, look...
Kentucky,
Let's find out who funded this.
It says Spaceboat
Studios. That sounds like a euphemism for the Ark.
Tribe Out of Reach. They have not made other
oh my god
Bible games
unless they secretly are.
This is the 5th game.
Dude, one time I got so clickbaited by an old school book that I thought was just going to be like an interesting historical fiction. It did in fact turn out to be Christian historical fiction. I got it was an old, like, this was decades ago by this point.
Okay.
It was some book about like, who's that guy that gets full of the demons and then Christ has to cast them out of him? Who was that?
Oh my god.
And then like the demons get cast out into the pigs and whatnot, and they run into the sea.
Oh shit.
Who was that guy? Whoever that guy was.
Fuck. Yeah, just some like I think it was just a random dude.
The book was through his perspective.
My Bible knowledge is...
I know more about the Bible than this guy does. Anyways, it was about that guy. Like, you were seeing him get possessed by demons, like, from his perspective.
Okay.
And it was all about, like, you know, his inner turmoil on account of the demons. And then towards the end of the book, he meets Jesus and he casts all the demons out and he's like, dang. And I truly did not catch on to the fact that it was a legit, like, biblical fiction until Jesus showed up. Because I didn't really grow up in church.
Yeah.
I didn't know all the stories already. So I was like, wait, what?
What's going on?
What's Jesus doing here?
Oh, that's funny.
I got God.
Man, I completely forgot about that story too. And the pigs. I remember that. I remember seeing that in like one of the like mini Bible movies.
And this is the kind of
That
content you
scene.
can only get in a shoot the shit.
That's right. You never know where we're going to go. And what's really fun about this too, this actually has a wild connection, and it was the perfect transition into one of the things that I was going to talk about. I have actually gone and thrown it back because I am still trying to find the like game to really sink into post Ghost of Yotei.
Yeah, we're both kind of in the between games spot right
and it's
now.
and I'm honestly a little shocked how long it's taking me to find the next thing. Like, I don't know, like I am excited for Resident Evil or Resident Evil 9, and I want to play it at some point, but just like couldn't get it day one. And
also,
so
spring doesn't feel like the season
exactly
for Resident Evil. 9.
And I'm not like I like the Resident Evil games. I'm not like a diehard Resident Evil fan, so I didn't feel like I needed to get it right then. But I do want to play it this year. Hopefully, yes, maybe like closer to this actual spooky season.
I guess for other people that don't live in Texas, it's still quote unquote winter. So like
That's
it would
true,
have
and it
made
could
more
work.
sense. But
Yeah.
for us, we've been
It's
in
already
spring
hot.
since February.
It's already like hitting the 90s. It's toasty.
It's not the right season for it.
It's not the right season for it at all. So I've been trying, so I didn't want to get that. I just had bought a whole box of like booster packs for the like the Star Wars Unlimited game that I play. So
This guy.
I couldn't afford.
Is
both
this the
things
box
at
that
the
I'm
same time.
looking
Yeah,
at
that's
right
actually
here?
it right here.
With Donald Glover on the
Hell
front.
yeah, Lando Calrissian himself.
I don't
It's
wanna
full of
tear-
cards.
It's so heavy.
I haven't had a chance. Well, it's got some extra booster packs in it
It's
now
a
too.
hefty box.
Hell
Look, it's
yeah.
got the lady that I like.
Oh, Jyn Erso?
Dameron. That's what I said. Definitely not Poe Dameron. Jyn Erso.
That's Oscar Isaac.
Hey, all the names sound the same. It is not my fault.
But anyway, so in the midst of this, I've gone and I've tried a handful of different games. It just nothing has really stuck. And
I can't believe our streams haven't gotten Silksong to stick for you.
oh well, I was saving
I'm
it
gonna
for the streams.
beat it
I
into
didn't
you.
realize
Oh, okay.
I thought I had to save it for the streams.
No, I mean, it's probably better to save it for the stream.
Okay.
But I'm like, if
I
it
do-
were
I
me,
am
I
having-
wouldn't even be able to stop
Oh,
myself.
see, that's I guess the difference. See, like God of War: Sons of Sparta, I got hard stuck at a place. I could not figure out how to go farther, and I kind of was like, all right, I'm tired of spending all my gaming time
On this.
running my head into a wall. Literally, it felt like. So I was just like, I'm going to do something else. But a few people at work had been talking about, and because there's also going to be a new TCG coming out for it, because of course everything has a TCG these days, I decided to go back to Cyberpunk 2077.
Oh, that's right. It's
So-
I didn't realize it had a card game coming out.
It does, and it looks like I've seen some of the art for the cards and stuff like that, and it looks really good because it is just like the art and characters strictly from the game and stuff like that. It's pretty the video game and stuff like that from CD Projekt. And so I was just like, you know what? I know I've started this game. I fell off of it before, but this is kind of one that I feel like I could get back into pretty easily. And so I thought, you know what? Let's see what happens. And true, I'm able to jump in. I was only like 13ish hours into my original game anyway, so not very far into it at all. Partially, I think because it had been the one that, remember how like buggy and terrible Cyberpunk was when it first came out. Well, I had started it then, and then I was like, no, I'm waiting for it to get better. And then when it did get better and I played it and stuff, I just think I got distracted by some other game that it was coming out that I was a little bit more excited for at the time. And so then, cut to me starting it back up again. And yeah, I was able to jump back in. I kind of remembered enough of the early beats of the story to really like not have an issue remembering what was going on. Had some quick little refreshers from story beats and stuff like that, but it was all good to go. But then I decided to take on one of the side gig missions.
And?
You run into this dude, and he's basically like he's literally you just meet this guy who's like, oh, I'm gonna go kill this guy. He's this motherfucker. He fucked me up. I'm gonna go kill this guy. And you're like, whoa, what's going on? I'll go with you because
We can talk it out, buddy.
Yeah, but like I'm gonna go with you, and I'm gonna go help you get this guy. You go with this dude. You wind up stopping like this is a prisoner getting out of prison. He's in a police escort vehicle and everything, like still being like transported between prisons. This dude wants to like hijack it in the middle and shoot this guy. They get
So wait, this dude, the person that's about to get killed is already on the way to prison?
or like it has been in prison and is being transported to a different prison or something like that.
So I guess the prison wasn't enough.
Yeah, I guess
That's
not.
really funny.
And so this guy's like, I'm gonna get him, I'm gonna kill him. And this dude just like, so you go after, you're like, sure, you come up on this thing, you get the car stopped, and then the guard of the truck obviously just like immediately shoots the dude who you're with. And you're just like, oh fuck, hey, I'm not a part of this. I just like kind of got roped into this in some way. But you wind up talking to the prisoner who you realize is actually like the guard is working for him. It was working for the prisoner. So you're like, okay, this isn't the normal setup. What's going on here?
Okay.
And then there's this woman in the front seat too, who's like talking about how they need to get going because they're on their way to the they need to get to the studio and all this stuff. And this prisoner is just standing out there and he's like, hey, come with me. You know, let's, you know, whatever this dude was going to pay you. I know you're just a bounty hunter, you know, a mercenary, whatever, for hire, whatever he was going to pay you, I'll double if you just hang out with me for the day. And you're like, okay, but I'm like intrigued. So I go into this. Basically, while you're in the car, this dude, and this is how it ties back to I Am Jesus Christ. This dude, who apparently was like a crazy murderer and stuff like that, is now...
He found Christ.
He found Christ.
Oh, no.
He found Christ in prison and seems to have amassed somewhat of a following. Honestly, kind of seemed very Charles Manson-esque.
I was going to say Jared Leto.
I mean, yes, that too. You know? And so you're just kind of like... So basically what he then reveals to you and where this story eventually winds up going is that he has amassed such a like basically cult following, I guess, throughout either Night City or just the like country world in general. He was approached by a company who makes brain dances, which brain dances in Cyberpunk are basically like holograms, projections, and stuff like that
into your brain
that allows you to experience certain like activities, you know, I'm sure like drugs, you know, anything like that, but you feel it all, you know, drugs, sex, whatever. And you just, or even things like you could murder someone, kind of Westworld-esque, you know what I mean? But it's all like taking place in your brain. So you feel all the things, you react as if it was you. Basically, this...
No one in these scenarios ever does the right scenario, which is become Scrooge McDuck diving into the pool of coins in his house. That's the experience I would want if I could beam something directly into my brain and live it out.
Have you seen the Family Guy cutaway where Peter does that?
No.
He's like, I want to, you know, does he say like, I want to be Scrooge McDuck, and he goes and does it, and you see him like leap in like at the beginning of DuckTales, and he hits the gold, and he immediately just like smashes and breaks every bone in his body, and he's like, oh, I forgot this is scientifically impossible.
That's really
like
funny.
It's very funny.
Anyways.
But anyway, so this guy reveals to you that a company approached him to make a brain dance of being crucified so you could experience the crucifixion of Christ. He wants to make this brain dance, and he's like, the money's good, but he's basically like, can you like convince me or whatever? He like makes some weird like immediate connection with you, and like you're like the only person he like trusts and wants to talk to. You like leave, and because you initially get like, I left because I was like, no, dude, this is fucking weird. But then you get called from the producer lady again. She's like, hey, he's in his dressing room. He won't leave. He only wants to talk to you. And it's like, okay. So you go and talk to him. And I initially was like, you know, I'll just see what happens here or whatever. He winds up going through with it. And this was the moment where I experienced a what the fuck is happening moment in a video game that I feel like I have not experienced one in a long time, because this dude goes out into the studio, cameras, you know, he gets hooked up some stuff, and then full on like a crew member comes out, physically straight up nails him to the cross, and then they raise him up and stuff like that. I was like, what the absolute fuck is happening in this game?
That's definitely crazy. It also feels like the kind of thing that I'm surprised more Christian media outlets aren't mad about.
Yeah.
Like that kind of seems like the framing of it in the game is it being something for profit. That's kind of crazy.
Other people can experience.
That other people can experience. That's a little wild to me.
Yeah.
That more people aren't like super pitchforks and torches and all that good stuff.
Maybe this is just the tip of the iceberg of Cyberpunk stuff, because honestly, like I'm only, you know, less than 20 hours in all total, because the beginning stuff I've played a little bit twice. But it's like, I feel like this was kind of, and there's been some wild stuff in it just with like, oh, look how crazy and, people with this technology and everything are like cybernetics and all this different stuff. Like seeing all that is crazy, but this was like a different, like, oh, this is twisted. And that was kind of like, what the fuck? So I think Cyberpunk might be the game I'm sticking with for a little bit.
Nice.
It's definitely got me hooked because of that, if anything, because, and just from what I hear from my buddies at work and everything who have gone and played it more than once, it's just keeps getting better and better. So
nice.
Figure I'll give it a shot.
Well, that's pretty rad. Speaking of games that we kind of dropped and then picked back up, my first impressions of Octopath Traveler 0.
Oh, yeah.
Remember how I said, like, my first impressions were pretty mixed, and for good reason. I stand by most of the complaints that I had with the game through that first... I guess we'll call it like the first real act in its totality, which is the first 3 bosses of the game because they all sort of relate to each other. That whole segment was still not my favorite. And it took about 18 to 20 hours, according to my file, that I picked back up on.
Oh,
so
damn.
the getting through the first part was kind of long.
20 hours of just the first part?
20 hours of just the first part. Ooh. But now I have gotten past that, and I have to say that I am having a lot more fun with the game now, even though it continues to do many of the things that I dinged it for. Mainly the stop-start of the storytelling has gotten less bad, but there are still segments of the game where like it is just constantly that stop-start of it trying to walk you through a series of cutscenes that it's like, just do them all at once. We do not need to do this.
Right.
Do them all at once and then go send me into my gauntlet battles. That's what I want to do.
Because the cutscenes, I'm assuming, still share the same, like, 2.5D, whatever.
Of course they do.
So, so it's still like you're just like skipping through text.
Now,
subtitles.
So the one really good quality of life thing that all of the Octopath games have had is that you can, unlike some of the other games that we've recently talked about, like with that other game I really Digimon. Unlike with Digimon Storytime Stranger, you can put them on. Actually, that may have been a feature that Digimon had, and I just didn't enable it. Anyways, the point is you can put it on auto, so it will at least play without you having to click X to progress the story, which is really nice.
You could do that with an update on Expedition 33 too, because originally you couldn't, and then they added it in.
You see, Expedition 33 though had a good story that you didn't want to skip.
That's true, and
so you were locked in the whole time,
too.
And great voice acting.
Oh, hell yeah, let's go.
So, anyways, there's still parts of Octopath Traveler 0 that I am not into, but I am getting more fond of the other portions of it, and mostly I wanted to bring it up just so that I could prove that I remember people's names now.
You got them all?
I don't have them all, but I at least remember the names of my main party members.
Oh, good.
So the ones that I really like are Viator. He is a warrior class that you get way early on, and I've just really dialed him in to be an evasive beast. Usually the warrior class isn't very evasive, but I have maxed his evasion out the wazoo because he has like a goad ability where he can goad the enemy into attacking him. So he has a ton of HP, really good physical defense, and he's the hardest to hit out of anyone in my party.
Oh, so you're just like
you provoke
they're
them,
whiffing
and
everything.
then he just goes through the motions. It's like, yes, Viator.
Nice.
He's like Neo in the Matrix.
Oh yeah,
it's incredible.
Dodging all those bullets.
So Viator rules. The other good characters that I really like are Macy. She's an apothecary. The apothecary class is extremely utilitarian. They're fantastic, even though, since you no longer have job classes for NPCs that are not your main protagonist, the apothecary class does not have the concoct ability, which was Casti and Alphen's ability from the first 2 games that you could say it was pretty game-breaking because it was an incredibly useful ability, but obviously everybody loved it because it was a fantastic ability.
Yeah.
So your apothecary can't concoct, that sucks, but Macy's still really cool. I like Pius the Priest, even though his name is extremely on the nose. Very on the nose. He's all right. Kelsis, I still cycle in and out of my party. I've just recently gotten a new merchant, and because of that, I don't know his name.
So close.
He's new, though. It's something that starts with an R. I want to say it's like Rudy or Remy or something.
Ruben.
Yeah, maybe Ruben, something like that. So I'm close, but he's really cool. I technically did also unlock Tressa, Therion, and Primrose, who are all characters from the first Octopath Traveler game, but for personal reasons, I'm just choosing not to use them because it feels like I don't know, like it's not really in the spirit of a new Octopath game to go back and reuse characters from the previous game.
Makes sense.
Which is, again, another holdover from the banner system from when it was Champions of the Continent, the gacha mobile game.
I see.
So all these things that I do not love, which leads me to a rant that I wanted to have about another thing that I don't like about the game. So this one is specifically related to those holdovers from the banner system because I'm not exactly sure when Octopath Zero is meant to take place on the timeline, but you gather that it takes place right before the events of Octopath Traveler 1. Because when you meet Tressa, when you meet Primrose, when you meet Therion, you are meeting them before they have gone on their quest of the first game. Which makes no fucking sense from a story. So imagine this. Primrose. Let's take Primrose, for example. So Primrose's whole story in the first game is that she is lying in wait at what is ostensibly a brothel, serving just the terrible job that she has to do is dance and do other stuff for the clients of this tavern. She is basically a slave to the tavern owner Helganish, who he terribly abuses all of the women that work for him, and he is a monster. Imagine that.
Okay.
Her whole quest in Octopath 1 is getting away from Helganish and actually going on her quest to basically avenge her family who was killed by these dudes or whatever. Now imagine that right before she left on that quest of basically completely taking back her life, right before that, she actually did already leave on another quest to save the world with this other group of people. And then by choice, she comes back to the tavern that she left, even though she's already saved the world once before. Imagine that for a second. That makes no sense. It makes no sense. And every character is like that because
it's still a canon game, right? Like,
I guess.
Seems to be. It's just like a weird prequel, but like also, hey, here are these characters that you played before and know their stories, but different.
So the whole point, it especially breaks characters like Tressa's story, because Tressa is canonically the youngest character in Octopath 1. She's like, you gather, maybe 16 or 17. She might even be 15. She's like a kid.
Yeah.
And her family are basically letting her go out into the world for the first time to cut her, cut her teeth? To cut her teeth as a merchant for the first time. And then Octopath Traveler 0 comes along, and her family's like, well, Tressa, I think it's time you saw the world, so that they can send you out to become more worldly with the protagonist and his crew of odds and ends characters. And it's like, this completely undermines all of the character development from every character of the first game.
Do you come back to them later, like this is only at the beginning, or is there the possibility that if you did interact with them more or use them, that you would have them in your party for the whole game?
You have them in your party for the whole game. Because it's the recruit system.
So it's
the holdover from the banner system. So once you recruit them, they're always optional party members, and you can cycle them in and out as you want.
So it's like almost an alternate history version or something like that.
Yeah.
Weird. Why not just make it like a sequel? And have these characters after they've already had their journeys and development.
Here's what doesn't make sense to me. I understand that they were trying to adapt the mobile game. And part of the mobile game was having these 5-star banner characters from the first game. They're obviously, very recognizable. Surely they were charging out the ass for you to roll the dice on hoping that you could get these characters from those banners.
Yeah.
But if you're adapting it for consoles and you're removing the gacha elements, I think it would have made more sense to remove them. You already have a roster. Well, this includes them. There is already a roster of 36 playable characters. If you just removed the original 8, you would still have a massive roster.
Yeah.
I don't think they were necessary, and I think their inclusion in the game honestly ruins their stories from Octopath Traveler 1.
Well, it feels like it's kind of the thing of like, hey, remember these characters you played with in Octopath Traveler 1? You can play with them again in this game.
It is. It's
and
like
kind of like the thing
nostalgia bait.
to like, yeah, exactly. Like to get people into it who are big fans of the original. But That is so weird that
I
it's not
hate
a
it.
post Octopath Traveler game.
No, I absolutely hate it. It makes my blood, like, on the one hand,
That's so weird.
on the one hand, all of these characters are great. They're
Yeah.
strong characters because they were meant to carry you through the entire first game.
Right.
So their stats are really good. They have really good abilities. But you also have these, well, what's 36 minus 8? 28?
Yeah.
You also have 28
yeah.
other characters that you can choose from that are also those same classes. So it's like, why
That's-
did you put them in the game this way?
That's so bizarre.
And basically retcon all of their character development from the first game. It infuriates me.
So I understand then why you're not using them.
Yeah, no, I'm choosing not to use
Yeah.
them. I'm still going through their side quests because you get to usually fight a boss as part of that, and you
Sure.
need the XP, and sometimes the bosses have really good items and stuff like that. But as soon as I basically get them as party members, I'm like, out you go. Get out of here. I don't
more of
need you
this.
anymore.
I don't need you here.
So anyways, that's just one more complaint in the complaint column. But that being said, it is still not stopping me from playing the game. I think I mentioned in my first impressions that when I played it the first time, it was a combination of the things that I didn't like about it mixed with it just didn't feel like the right time. Like it just wasn't hitting then. It is hitting now.
Nice.
Like the combat and the
Isn't that weird
gameplay
how
of
that
it.
happens?
It just wasn't the right time.
Yeah,
Now
it's
it is
so
the right
weird.
time.
Yeah, like I mean, I'm coming back to Cyberpunk. How many years later?
Literally. Yeah. So
Yeah, it's weird how that always takes time for some things to hit like that.
just at a weird place with it, but I'm starting to really get the hang of the skills equipping system that we talked about last time and the using of the front and the back line. I will also say compared to Octopath Traveler 2, it is so far mostly a cakewalk.
Okay, I was about to
Game
ask
easy.
you. I was about to ask you about that because I did see that comment in the Discord and
Yeah,
everything
it's
where you said
pretty easy.
where you said it was a cakewalk. So I was wondering about
it's
that.
quite easy. Most of the enemies that you fight do have very high shield points, so obviously you really do have to be using both your front and your back line to really whittle those shield points down quickly. But most of the time, like, I did die a couple of times during the first act when I had not an entire full character cast and my stats were really low because we hadn't leveled up a lot. And I was just not very good at the game. Now that I kind of get the flow a lot better and I've got way more abilities and way more much better equipment, all that good stuff, it is easy.
Nice.
Which isn't necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah,
Like it doesn't need to be overly hard, but I will say that I am very conscious of not accidentally over leveling. Because I feel like if I wind up even slightly ahead of where the base game's quests are sort of meant to be leveled at, it will be too easy. It just won't be fun
And
anymore.
the enemies aren't
Yes.
leveling up to match your pace.
Yeah, so now that you are out of that first section of the game where I complained that you really weren't able to fight higher level enemies in a way that made sense, now you are. Once you break out of that initial like little triangle of the game, you go back into that spiraling outward format that Octopath Travelers 1 and 2 both had.
Right.
Which ensures that you continue to encounter obviously like non-boss, but higher level enemies
Sure.
to match you. So it's still easy. The game is still easy.
But it has a little bit of like the
But
balancing.
it might get harder as I go, so I will let you know how that happens. And with 28 possible players to collect, they don't all gain experience. Like if they're not in your party, they're not getting experience and they're not getting
so you
job
have to cycle
points.
them out. So it gives you some incentive to
Yeah.
change out your party.
It gives you. So with 28 characters though, I'm like, how am I ever?
Yeah, because at
going to
that
get-
point, you'd have to just
There's
rely
so
on like
many.
random stuff,
Yeah,
right?
so
like random
I'm-
encounters rather than story missions to level
And I don't
stuff
want to
up.
do that. So I'm really
Yeah.
like picking and choosing who I basically want to be in my party forever. Cause I'm like, I don't want to have to train up a bunch of other characters way later down the line. That seems just terrible. Now, when you do acquire new characters later in the game, they are at a base higher level than if you had encountered them in Act 1, of course. So like if I found a new character now, they would probably be about level 30. So not the end of the world. I just don't really want to have to learn how to use 28 new characters.
I get that.
Yeah.
And and sometimes it's nice to have like a familiar game that's a familiar like mechanics. You know how to play it. So even though it's that touch of familiarity, but you can also just turn your brain off and play it.
It is
that's nice.
also really nice to hear the Octopath Traveler 1 soundtrack.
Oh, yes.
Because since it takes place in the same realm, which also means it reuses city assets from the first game, which I hate. Which I hate.
Another one
I don't
for
like that.
the list.
Another one in the list of complaints.
Don't like that at all.
I am really like neutralizing out to a sum zero. like for every one that I gain in the plus column, it feels like I'm adding 2 to the cons, but I'm still playing it.
It's going to come out and you're like, it's a mess.
It's
just like right here in the middle.
Not as good as either of the first 2 games, but I did put...
Could have been better, but fun.
I did put 90 hours into it, and it was just okay.
How many do you think you have put in it by now?
Oh, so far I'm already over 30.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're really
So
putting the time in.
I am already well on my way to that 100-hour mark, and I think I'm probably going to hit it pretty easily.
Nice.
Because you know how the PS5 tells you you're approximately X% done with a game?
Right.
I think I'm only like 25 to 30% done.
Oh, dear.
So there's a lot more game to be had. Nice. I'm still missing like 20 characters from my roster.
Holy shit. So yeah, you still got some ground to cover.
I got to find them somewhere, I guess.
Damn.
Work
cut out for you.
Oh, Octopath Traveler 0.
I do want to try too, another thing real quick that I had dabbled in and I just then got immediately distracted by Cyberpunk, so I haven't played with it as much, but I want to go back to it because the multiplayer for Ghost of Yotei did come out, the Legends co-op mode and stuff. Ooh. So I'm wanting to spend more. I did like the first couple missions in it because you have a mission. It has a slight little campaign that's basically just like, complete a few
the tutorial
objectives,
the
kind of
multiplayer
things.
tutorial.
And then you get into the main stuff. So I've only been doing a little bit of that so far, but it's more Yotei, and that game hooked me for quite a bit too. Yeah, so nice. Between the two of them, I'll probably have some fun switching between those two.
Well, then in my other news, because it's been such a hot topic in the Discord recently, I will just mention that I have restarted many, many, many years later a new file in Pokemon White.
Oh.
Because we've been talking in the Discord. If you're not familiar with Game Grumps, they have been playing a Pokemon Nuzlocke. And it is so inspiring because Aaron Game Grump is truly the worst Pokemon player I think to ever live. And you watch these episodes and you're like, I've never seen anyone do it worse. I can't, and it got to the point where I was like, you know what? I do think I could do better. So now I'm putting my money where my mouth is. And I'm putting my money where my mouth is. And I am starting up Pokemon White, which is one of the few older Pokemon games I actually own on the DS. Good old DS. You want to know what's weird though?
What?
So the case that I have for the game says Pokemon White 2. But my cartridge is just for Pokemon White. And yes, they are different games. I don't know. I don't know what happened. Weird. I truly don't know what happened. I don't know why I have the cartridge for White.
Right. But the box...
case for White too.
Did you buy it used?
I don't know.
Oh, at this point, it's just too long ago.
It has truly been so long. This is a game that came out in 2011, Jared.
Oh, my.
If I played it approximately the time that it came out, it's already been 15 years.
Damn.
So, I have no idea the circumstances that I acquired or purchased it in. And I don't know why it doesn't match what the case is.
Weird.
Because I even did a poll in the Discord, and I was like, hey, should I play Pokemon Y, which I also own still, or should I play Pokemon White 2? Because that's the one I thought I owned. And then
you had to be like, I lied to you all.
So here's the thing. I started up my Nuzlocke, right? And I was already having to look up a little bit of a guide because I was like, well, I want to know what Pokemon are on these routes, that kind of stuff, because the rules are very strict. And none of the guides matched what was going on in my game because I was looking up Pokemon White 2.
Right, when you were playing Pokemon White. I truly
was on such auto mode. I did not notice that when I was firing up the game, it said Pokemon White version 1. And I was like, oh my God, I have the wrong game. How did this happen?
And it's just funny that it's been that way for years and
you
just never noticed.
Years, and I've never noticed. So long story short, I've started my Pokemon Nuzlocke for White version 1, not the second one. I have picked Oshawott, the water starter, as my initial Pokemon.
I don't know what Oshawott looks
It looks like a little, it's an otter. It's like a little samurai otter. It's very cute. Unfortunately, its final evolution is ugly, as fugly as it gets. Its final evolution is so bad. But it's kind of the safe choice because its stats are sort of the most stable. Plus, I got a female Oshawott, which is only a 25% chance to get.
Oh,
so,
hell yeah. You got to go with that.
Yeah, gotta go with that, obviously. So I got a female Oshawott, and so far I only have one other Pokemon in my party. It is a Lillipup.
Ooh,
It's a little dog.
fun.
It's a little Scotty dog. It's just a little pupper.
Would it be fun, because as someone who's never tried a Pokemon game or never played one.
I thought you were going to say, would it be fun if we played the Jesus Simulator right now?
No.
Because you really looked at Steam.
Oh, no. Sorry. I was just thinking, I was just lost, thought I was doing this. If I gave a shot at a Nuzlocke on a stream or something, we did that, because I've never done it, but I've never played a Pokemon game at all.
I think that would actually be pretty fun all around, because I can help guide you on like the...
It'd basically be like what we're doing in Silksong.
Yeah, it would basically be Silksong. Now, I will say I know incredibly little about Pokemon, like the deep stats of it.
I mean, yeah, I know nothing.
So I am also basically like I talk a big talk, but I'm totally going to be Aaron Game Grump bad at it.
I feel like this is, I know like Nuzlocks are the hot thing, so hot right now.
People love Nuzlocks,
but I feel like we should maybe give a Nuzlocke a shot.
People would love to watch one. So if we could find a cheeky little ROM hack of White 2, which is the game I thought I was going to play anyways, I think that would be super fun.
Okay, we'll have to look into doing that, because I think that would be fun.
If you want us to do a little Nuzlocke, let us know. Do a little comment below. Comment
in the chat, on the Discord, all those places.
And which of the Pokerman games we should do one of.
Yeah.
Old ones only.
Right.
None of that new shit. Nothing from the Switch. God, DS and
151
older.
only.
God. 151.
I know some things.
We have to at least get to Gen 2.
Alrighty, but yeah, I mean, I feel like, what else? Have I been doing anything else? I don't think so. I think I've honestly, partially why it's good we're doing a Shoot the Shit episode is because I feel like I haven't had a ton of time to play much of anything.
Well,
lately.
that's because Jarrett's been in the backyard making their grass look incredible.
Actually, no, I cannot take credit for that. That is Samantha.
Sam? Wow.
Yeah.
In that case, no excuse. Never mind.
I mean, yes, I've been doing work back there too, but in terms of like, putting in the hard work and the layout and all that stuff of getting it to grow and stuff, that's been Sam's doing.
Looking lush back there.
It looks incredible. So it has been a good time. It's been a good excuse to spend some time outside too, but also just with just work in general and everything like that.
What's it like having a real yard?
It's nice. You can bring the boys over to enjoy it anytime.
No, thank you. I don't even know what they would do with grass.
They just
Mayo would freeze.
like
Mustard would be
just
gone.
like, what is this on my paws?
Yeah.
In between my beans.
My beans.
All right, everybody. Well, I think with that concludes this episode of Team Chat Podcast. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Thanks for shooting the shit with us.
Yeah, we love hanging out with everybody and talking video games.
Nice
the ones we love, the ones we hate, and everything
and
in
the
between.
ones that are a net zero. Just a net
Those
zero.
are the ones in between.
Those are the ones
perfectly
right
in between.
You know what? From now on, we should do an end of year award show, like just a really, really small one, where we award the worst game of the year, the best game of the year, and then the most in between game of the year. God,
literally
we should have been
every
doing that
year of this show up until now.
God damn!
What an incredible idea!
All right, this year for sure, guys.
This year we're gonna do it. This year,
and we can award little trophies to the games. That would be really fun.
Display them back
somewhere.
here. Our trophies for other games that we had no part of making.
Oh boy, we could build a tiny little stocks for the worst game.
Oh my god,
that would be so fun.
We're cooking right now.
Yeah.
This is
why we got to do more Shoot the Shit.
It is. This is where the good ideas come from.
Gets the juices flowing.
It's the shower or Shoot the Shit episodes for people where the good ideas spring. But with that, everybody, thanks for hanging out with us on this episode, and we will see you on the next one. Until then, I'm one of your hosts, Jarrett Wilson, joined by Rachel Mogan.
Adios.
We'll see you on the next episode. Bye.
Bye.